Welcome back, folks. I'm Steve Adubato. We're joined by our media colleague, Pete Oneglia, who is the general manager and co-founder Insider NJ. Pete, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
We're taping this on the 13th of May. It'll be seen later. There were just municipal elections. Elections, politics goes on in the midst of this pandemic. What are we learning about how elections are going to play out?
Well, first, it's probably important to note that there were only a handful of municipal elections that happened last night, Tuesday, the 12th. But it definitely proved to be a good starting point to see what the potential effects of having an all VBM election might be. And the general consensus—
Vote by mail, right?
Vote by mail.
Good.
General consensus seems to be that a lot of areas things went well, but there are a lot of questions as to how feasible it is to have everything going through printed ballots by the county clerk and then through the post office.
So here's my question, Pete. This isn't really about politics. It's about our representative democracy. The 2020 election in November. It's going to look very different than other national elections.
Yeah, but politics always shapes every conversation that we have. So New Jersey, for example, weighing, an all VBM, all vote by mail primary, yet at the same time, President Trump has said several times recently in his coronavirus briefings that he thinks it's a terrible idea to do VBM elections. So, who knows where we arrive when we get closer to November, if we're going to have an in-person election mixed in with VBMs as we usually do. I mean, every state is different, but there's a big question mark there. And I think everybody who works on elections and administers elections is largely taking it day by day. It's interesting to think about when you do an all VBM election, that's always administered by the county level, right? County clerks, Board of Elections. When you have pretty much the entire voting process going through the post office, it adds an even bigger element of the federal government, which is just something interesting to think about. They always administer, or they send out, the vote by mail ballots, but when you go from maybe 20% to 100%, there are just so many different question marks that people are looking towards last night to try to find some answers. It's been a mixed bag.
Pete, let me do this. Speaking of day by day, I check your website. You're one of our media partners and colleagues. Tell everyone what the website is and also what Insider NJ is focused on.
Well, as I like to call it, we are a political intelligence network, a lot of different information via press releases, original reporting, and various features and publications that we do, in addition to sponsored content and partnerships like with yourself. I will say over the past, 2 months or so, obviously the focus for not just us, but pretty much for every media organization and news site has pretty much been COVID-19. A couple of things that we've done is, we have a county tracker, which offers, live updates daily with the numbers, which comes directly from the counties, all housed in one place, so it's easy to access. We have sort of a live running information center, which just kind of keeps people updated, hour by hour on what, elected officials are saying, what counties are doing, the governor's briefings, et cetera. And I think, most of all, people want reliable data and information. So we're doing our best to try to provide that to our audience, and a lot of people are relying on that. So, with increased engagement also comes increased responsibility. And we try to adhere to, putting out the information in a responsible fashion, as everybody's trying to do,
Sure.
Because this is unprecedented, as we know, and there's no roadmap for governments and politicians. There's also really no roadmap for
the media.
It's
right.
It's a brand new world.
Well, for Pete, you have the same mission that we do in terms of reliable, relevant, accurate information you can trust. So check out Insider NJ. Pete, I want to thank you for joining us. Stay safe, be well, and I'm sure we'll talk down the road. Okay, buddy?
Sounds good. Thank you. You guys stay safe as well.
You got it. I'm Steve Adubato. We'll be right back.
Think Tank with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, Hackensack Meridian Health, Seton Hall University, New Jersey Sharing Network, the New Jersey Economic Development Authority, the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, the Fidelco Group, Summit City MD, And by Kessler Foundation. Promotional support provided by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association. And by AM 970 The Answer. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.